What is up, Battle Prime community? This is Jaeger, and I'm going to give you what I think is a pretty interesting video here of competing in Legends with all gray gear. So I'm using Shock, who's a standard Prime agent with the MK16. And in here, it's got a max damage of 369, which is not really high. But talking its loadout really quick, I've got the compensator for the muzzle, I've got the quick draw for the mag. For the sights, I went with the 2x sight, kind of give me a little bit more range control on that one. And for the grip, I went with the vertical foregrip. Now, again, not a very powerful weapon, but the control of that weapon is really the big deal. I also went with the MR5 compact for the secondary with a compensator for the muzzle, the quick draw mag as well for this one here. For the sight, I went with a red dot, and then for the grip, I went vertical foregrip as well. So this video is really for any player that's pretty new to Battle Prime that is worried about the other players having weapons that are of a higher damage, higher rarity, like even the greens, the blues, or especially the purples and the golds. When working this, I want to show you that you absolutely can be competitive even with gray gear, or the very common gear as it's really known in game. So I'm going to show you two matches. The first one is going to be control, which the idea behind this one, of course, is capturing a moving spawn point. The other one, which also takes place on the oil field map, is going to be harvest, which is a bit more of an aggressive and intense gameplay. But I want to walk you through a few of the things to really consider and just kind of break down the different gameplay modes that I go for. Now, again, everybody who starts Battle Prime does get Shock. He's the standard Prime agent. So the big thing that you've got to do right off the get-go is get in game and absolutely level him up. I've got his health at full max. I've got all of his armor, his helmet, and his body shield all at full capacity, right? Level 10s, full 1500 health. And then I've got the MK16 and the MR5 maxed out at level 10 as well. So first, make sure you get that done. But as you go through this, the one big thing to know about it is how you play strategically. Notice that I'm not sitting just kind of open or just full-blown running gun. Like, I'm using the fact that these enemies are showing up on the mini-map or showing up on my screen, which, again, for the new players, the reason why those icons show on screen is that one of my teammates has them within their line of sight as well. That's the only time those icons show. So I use that to my advantage to play a bit more strategic. I'm also trying to stay very mobile, not keeping myself as a sitting target, using any type of barriers to duck, cover, and be able to get my shots off between that. Now, for even veteran or seasoned players, you know, looking back at this MK16, which I have not used in months, but I actually kind of fell in love with it because the absolute control to it, practically no vertical or horizontal recoil whatsoever. Like, I don't even have to fight to keep this thing steady. So using this is kind of just that absolute, like, laser, just drill into those shots. Even on hip fire, the accuracy is pretty nice. But the one thing, coming back to Shock, that I also have to consider is using that tactical grenade, the flashbang, to my advantage as often as possible, because that is what's going to slow down my enemies and allow me to get the jump on them. And start getting those shots off first, because quite honestly, and you will see even throughout this match many times, I'm not completely invincible. I absolutely do die, but I will not be able to stand up against a bit more of like a tank. I think this is actually one of those moments where I come around the corner into a QB and a Vityaz, and the two of them absolutely put me down. Like, I can't compete there in a gunfight. But it's, you know, using this gray common gear as a new player and using Shock, it's a lot more about playing strategic and smart, not being able to rush around every corner and expect to put people down. Like, you've got to know when the fight's not yours. You've got to know when you absolutely can't get in there. But strategy is key in Battle Prime in general, but especially as a new player using this common gear. It's something you have to consider. You've got to stay mobile when you work it. Now, a few other things I just want to let you know about how I'm playing this game is I'm playing full manual, so you'll see that I both control when I go down the sights as well as my fire button, which of course allows me the ability to pre-fire, you know, before they come around a corner, which is nice. But at the same point in time, you know, you've got that delay reaction between scope and coming back to your fire button. So I do prefer to play every single one of my weapons full manual, except for shotguns. Those are the only ones I don't go full manual because their registration and hits are sometimes just a little off. But those are a few things you absolutely have to consider and pay attention to. Now, as we continue through the match, a few other things I just want to let you know is don't expect to be the person who always gets, maximum number of kills and again goes completely invincible. I still end up in the double digits, but using gray common gear and going into it, a lot of the times, and you've probably seen a few times in this match, where I put out the damage and maybe someone kind of gets that extra last bit of kill just because it will take me several extra bullets to get that kill in compared. But the one advantage I have going for me is I know that when I pretty much lock onto a target, almost every single one of my bolts is going to go into them. That you don't miss because there's no horizontal, no vertical recoil. So learn to control your weapons, get those mods on there to help you out, and you absolutely can compete. And even in this match here, rolling full gray, I do come out the MVP in this match as well as the second one. But the kill count and the damage are not going to be impressively high. I get 11 eliminations, still 2 deaths, and 22,000 for the damage in this match, which, playing as other characters, can you absolutely get 40, 50,000 plus damage? Sure. But in the end, hey, if you're winning and you're getting MVP, those damage numbers are pretty secondary. They help you progress through the game, but as a new player, some of the number one things you're looking for are victories and MVPs because that's where you're going to get your trophies to help you climb. Damage absolutely will come, which helps you level up things like weapons and stuff like that. But if you can get out there, get your damage numbers out, which I do have to say in hindsight, the damage numbers help you get into MVP because it's not always about kills. So that's why I say don't get caught up in that. But really try to focus on locking out those targets, getting these elims in here, putting that damage down, and don't make dumb moves like this one here where you jump into a gunfight when you're already low in health. That was a pretty dumb move. I should have used my flashbang, but what are you going to do? So, working with it, just to kind of go back through it all, stay focused, stay strategic, and really make sure that you find the right mod attachments that help you balance your weapon. Like, for this one here, I chose the 2 times for the MK16 because it gives me that a little extra range. But even the hipfire, I mean, look at this. Hipfire accuracy absolutely stays on that target. Even though I missed my shots because I jerked around a little bit, I can go between that hipfire. I can come back over here and use the scope play. But you've got to stay mobile. Move around the map. Don't stay in one spot for long because the moment an enemy, and especially an enemy with a more powerful weapon, knows you're there, they will be able to drop you pretty quickly because of, again, their higher power. But support your teammates, use the flashbangs, move around, stay strategic, and you're going to be solid. You can compete. Will you always be MVP? No, I'm not going to make those promises to you that, someone that does put out 30, 40, 50,000 damage in your map, they totally will take MVP from you because it's not just an elimination thing. But you absolutely can still compete even up here in Legend rank. I'm playing with 4,000 trophies, so that puts me in the highest division of the Legendary tiered gameplay, and coming back and playing with nothing but gray weapons, I actually thought I was going to do a lot worse. I thought I was going to probably die a lot more often. I thought I was going to have a lower number of elimination. I was not expecting to get MVP whatsoever. However, you absolutely can do it. And I'm going to try this out. My goal is to actually play this a few more times on a few different maps and really see what that's like, so stay tuned for an update. But if you want to play with me in-game, I'm going to add links to my Battle Prime friend link in the description down below. Also going to add links to the Battle Prime Discord down below, so make sure that if you're not part of that community, you can jump in there and you can chat with me and many other Battle Prime agents and players in the game, and learn the ropes quite a bit more. Gonna get dropped from behind here, and that's a little bit of a bummer. But like I said, you're not invincible. You're gonna absolutely get eliminated, so expect it. But play smart, play strategic, and that is how you compete at the Legend rank. So if you are new to Battle Prime, and let me know what you're using in the comments down below. How has your kind of early game progress gone? What weapons do you find yourself gravitating to? And, if you want to have a shot at playing up in the Legends rank and you're a newer player, again, connect with me in game, use that friend link. You can duo with me, and that'll allow you to compete up here in the Legends. And you can get a feel for it. See if you are able to hold your own with some of these thoughts I've shared with you on the weapon gameplay. And, I mean, even this, out-sniper a sniper, right, sitting up there camping, they can't they cannot compete against you and your locked-on laser target there. So, again, let me know what you think of this video down below. What weapons are you currently using? What weapons are you maybe most excited about getting? You know, go ahead and open up some weapon conversation, but let me know. I mean, I even challenge you, if you are more of a veteran and seasoned player, you know, try to come back into some of your matches with just the gray weapons. That's a challenge I want you to take on and see, can you hold your own in Legends with just these common gray weapons? Or have you, as many players do sometimes, develop a weapon crutch that it's all about power, power, power? Sometimes it's not the power that counts. It's many other things. The fire rate, the accuracy with it can play a factor. So here we go, the second MVP for these matches. 10 eliminations, so still double digits, 25,000 damage, which, I mean, hey, if we had daily missions going for the damage right now in Season 2, those would absolutely count. So, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for checking this one out. I'm Jaeger, and I'm signing out.